spooky rudiments. Play the rudiments you are scared of. The ones you never practice. Look at Natasha warming up, very good. I also learned that downwards motion is not very good for the wrist, so just do the upwards one. Exactly, don't do that one. I had a consultation. Nice. Scary faces. Scary drummers' faces.
It's the night of the vampire. Tonight is the night of the vampire. If it's raining and you're running, don't slip in mud. If you do, you'll slip in blood tonight. It's the night of the vampire. Tonight is the night of the vampire. The moon may be full, the moon may be white. All I know is you'll feel his bite tonight. It's the night of the vampire. Tonight is the night of the vampire. Resurrected from Transylvania, on St. Swithin's day he was born. I stare through the darkness, lips form, maidens cry. It's the night of the vampire. Tonight is the night of the vampire. Tonight is the night of the vampire.
Hello beautiful drummers, welcome to today's PPR. We're gonna warm up with a little bit tricky but extremely common and helpful coordinations, where this time the feet will be playing in between the strokes of the hands, similar to what we did also in that lesson with the paradiddle and the 30 seconds in between, but with a much easier counting, because we need to get rid of this need of the feet being in charge of the timekeeping for all the beautiful syncopations we want to play in songs. So we're gonna start by playing right hand in quarter notes with the right foot that plays in between the notes, so on all of the ends in this fashion. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very important that you do not count the 8 notes, but you just focus on the right hand. We're going to do this for 2 bars, and then we move to the left hand, still in quarters, doing the same thing with the kick drum, the right foot that plays in between. I'm doing it on the drum so you can differentiate the sounds a little bit better, but you can also do it on your own body, wherever you are, to bother everyone around you. Left hand, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lastly, we're gonna have many situations in music when both hands will play unison and the foot, either this or the other one, will play in between. Therefore, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put this in a cycle. Are you ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, left hand and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, both hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, repeat. Right. Ready, change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, both hands. Full stroke, full stroke, full stroke, full stroke. Always bounce. Ready, beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, change. Together. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Same thing, but in between we have the left foot. Right hand, left foot, cross coordination, ready, 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, left hand, left foot. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, both hands, left foot. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Both hands. And stop. Lastly, we're going to look at everything with both feet playing at the same time. So right hand and then both feet in the middle. Try not to lose the balance going forward. Stay very centered, shoulders down. Right hand, left hand, both hands. The last cycle would be both hands in unison and both feet in unison in between each other. So let's try this version. 1, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, repeat. Right hand, both feet. 1, 2, ready, change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, both hands. Stop. And now we see, if we fuck up, putting it all together. We have 3 different versions, the right foot in between, or the left foot in between, or both feet in unison in between. The hands always alternate between 2 bars right hand, 2 bars left hand, and 2 bars with both. Let's get it started and let's give it the first attempt. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. exercise before we go forward with the live live off live PPR, we're going to just alternate on with the hands single strokes, one note with the right hand, one note with the right foot, one note with the left hand, one note with the left foot, right? This is a nasty coordination that you can bring also extremely fast, and it's super cool when you're on the drum set here to try also with the double pedal to have in between notes with the floor tone. Really check if you're precise, which I wasn't for a moment. So let's try to just do it slow together. Ready? Go. Slow down. Let's try by playing two hands and 2 feet, still the same order, so 2 right hand, 2 right foot, 2 left hand, 2 left foot. Three notes per limb. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And 4 notes. Let's go. Good warm up. Let's get started.
Hello, beautiful drummers. How are you today? Ha 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 ha! So, are you ready to suffer? Yes! Yes! We are going to suffer today. I'm so scared. I'm so scared by this coordination.
Now I'm feeling a little bit better. It's a spooky PPR. Let me make it a bit more spooky over here. Oh, buongiorno. Somebody spent some hours this morning. Let me put also some little decoration over here with a beautiful logo.
Wow.
Wow, look at this.
No, because I was there yesterday. There was none of this. And today I'm like,
It's getting populated here. Hello, darling. How are you? Hey. I love making a fool of myself, as you noticed. Okay. Very nice. Today, of course, we're gonna talk about a very important topic of drumming. A little bit spooky. We're gonna talk about ghost notes. Ooh. Of course, what better topics for Halloween? Also, the song you heard at the beginning was The Night of the Vampire by the Fastons. So look at that beautiful kitty cat. Fastons have been very involved into the Halloween culture and published many albums regarding Halloween. So if you do a thematic evenings, you know, you can search that. Ghost notes. So let's start actually just playing some soft notes so we can warm up a little bit of tap strokes. Just get relaxed. Huh? Oh, this is amazing, Luis. Let me take a screenshot of that. done. The screenshot button finally came useful. Let's play, and I showed the other day, I think, to Natasha and Mattia, some very fast ghosted paradiddles. It's very hard to play these dynamics. So without any accent, we stay at 1 centimeter from the surface, and we go right, left, left, left. I call these gravity strokes. They're not really called like that, but for me it just really gives the idea of just falling down with the hands without any charging motions, okay? So try to start, you're not gonna even hear me, because if I play proper ghost notes, you're not gonna hear them all the way there. Try to go from slow to fast. See if you can maintain the 1 centimeter distance to the pad, okay? Entertaining you in a moment, a little bit while do that. It's on this side. But yes, don't forget, I am looking at you, even if I'm not playing. I don't see Joel's pad. I assume you're doing them properly. Yeah? It's the softest, the better. And try to accelerate, so that you can bring them at this velocity, but here. It needs a lot of control and the grip that is in the front part of the hand for once. Go your own velocity, because this is very difficult. It requires a lot of patience to speed up this. And now let's make this a little exercise. We started together, now I will lead you with the velocity. And slowly, slowly, slowly we bring up the first note of the paradiddle until it is at this, in this kind of range. So if you think about this, we start here with the right hand, and we bring the right hand for the accent all the way up here. And we try to associate, in this case, the height of the stick to the actual volume of the notes that we play. It's not always like this in the world of drumming, that's why I'm specifying. I'm saying this because as a more advanced drummer, you want to learn how to make very big motion with a very light touch, and very small motions with a lot of nerves, and trying to achieve very loud sounds in this much space as well, okay? In this case, instead, we want muscle memory. Let's start here down. We go 3E and 4E and paradiddle, paradiddle, no accent, paradiddle. Left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right. Bit louder the right and the left. The accents go up. Now I'm involving even a bit of elbow. And we bring it back down. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right. And back up. Only the accent, not all of the notes. Only the first note of the paradiddle. And really try to go through the whole range, not to go loud too soon. I see some of you are already at maximum volume. You should take longer. And now we bring it down. It's hard, no? To control the force, the height. To realize that different articulations start to govern the motion of the notes that we play. Imagine you are like a DJ, no? Of your own body, and then you take this volume, the fader, and you bring it up slowly, 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 to experience this whole range and not just go There is a lot in between, and you want to analyze your body, you know, what's happening here? Is a bit more wrist, more fingers. The grip changes, goes from the front of the hand to a bit more the center, the back of the hand. Now it's a bit more shoulder, no? Very good exercise that you can do with any rhythm, of course, but with these rudiments should go a bit more into autopilot. The paradiddle should be something you don't overthink, and it's nice because you work the right and the left side of your body. Very good. What I do when I want to introduce ghost notes, not in this fashion, which is more in the sense of, these also can work as a group, but in most cases with the goal of developing drum fills around the drum set, if I'm thinking about grooves, the first thing I do nowadays, I wasn't doing this back in the days, is to think about what is the grid that I'm playing, and play all of the possible ghost notes with my left hand that match with that grid. After which I can go a grid smaller. Right? Let's say that your hi-hat is in 8th notes, then I can first practice the 8th notes, then I go into the 16ths, I can even go into 16-note triplets and whatnot. No? But first I experience all of the possible ghost notes, including then the accent on the backbeat of 2F4. Right? So assume that we are now playing the easiest version of this, which would be we are with the right hand in quarter note. And in this case, I will also assume that I don't play dynamics on the hi-hat. So the right hand is here. The left hand in this case, therefore, will play as 4 positions that can play. First of all, I learned to play a unison, right, Natasha? We know how to play unisons. Huh? Little joke, because now she plays really good flams but forgot how to play unisons. It's very hard to play unisons at different heights, because it's easier if I go from here and I try to play a unison, which anyway, a perfect unison in human nature probably does not exist, but we can go near enough. It's much harder if I now try to play a unison with my left hand down and my right hand up, because they start from 2 different positions. This is going to take a little bit longer time, but you're going to have more force. And it's really understanding that different relationship, because this is usually a flam position. Usually this is when we do pra. And we don't want to do pra, we don't want to do same time. So this is exercise number 1. And it's much harder than you think, if you want to play it well. Right? It's hard to synchronize the 2 limbs starting at 2 different heights that they play unison. You need to be more conscious. Don't think. In the flam, we think about the starting position and they go down together. Now I need to think about the arrival point. I need to think, when are the hands not starting the motion, because this one is not when I need to play this. It's when they actually hit the surface. It's a micro millisecond, but that's what makes it a unison. You're supposed to practice at your own velocity right now. If it sounds flam, you know what to practice for the next 8 hours. Huh? If it doesn't sound flam, we move on to the left side of our body, which goes a little bit out of the exercise on how to apply ghost notes on the drum set, but we are on a practice pad, so we also do this. Left hand is up, right hand is down, and we play unisons. And don't worry, also mine suck. I've been trying this for many years. Right? Big motion with the right, involving also the elbow and a bit of the shoulder. Super micro motions with the left, just gravity strokes, falling down, no charging motion. You will feel it in your body. When it's a unison, not only the sound, you will understand that the bouncing also changes, especially if you try it on the snare drum. When it's a perfect unison, basically they cancel out. Now, you know the motion when we play flams, now that we alternate. We have a downstroke with the right and an upstroke with the left, and then a downstroke with the left and an upstroke with the right. So if we play flams, we have this. Right? Now, we're going to use this motion just to change on beat number 4, so we can practice both limbs. Now, we have 4 unison right and 4 unison left, meaning the hand that starts higher, but on beat 4 we revert the motion. So it's 3 times the same motion, full stroke, tap stroke, and then we invert, and then we do left. 3, change, 1, 2, 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 3, change, 1, 2. You see that hand is down, it only really collapses down, there is no charging motion in this part, it's only down, 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 down. Very important to develop that motion. Not even with the forearm, but just collapsing down the wrist, just little. It was going in this nice little diagonal. Oh fuck, the TV is gonna switch off in 46 seconds. But not zoom, don't worry, that's gonna stay on. So in 40 seconds I will have to stand up. 37 seconds. Alright, let's try to change every 2 beats. So we go bounce back up, invert, bounce back up, invert, bounce back up, invert, bounce back up, invert, bounce back up, and invert, and full stroke, down stroke, full stroke, down stroke, full stroke, down stroke. Careful, Natasha, also not to go back here with the stick, and some other of you, but mostly I've seen that motion. Always stay in the range of vision. The left hand was good, the right hand was a little bit faulty. Huh? Louise, as always, you're improving the diagonal, but you're still very centered. Continue, I need to switch on the TV. Hopefully comes back as normal. Okay, so now let's actually imagine we are playing a groove. Okay, this specific one with the quarter note is not really common, but as we apply the same to the 8th note, these are going to be some really cool rock and roll grooves. So in this case, I would have the right hand that always bounces back up. This would be your right cymbal, your hi-hat, your floor tom. It doesn't matter what this is, right? Now the left hand is here, but needs to play on beat 2 and beat 4 an accent, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Now we're also practicing this beautiful down and up motion with the left, with a consistent full stroke of the right. And we try to be as precise as possible for the hands to be together. When we are on 2 different sounds, if it's already sounding okay like this, it's gonna be perfect on the drums, don't worry. You're not gonna hear any. By the way, for those of you who don't know, we never play a unison on the same surface on the drums. This is just an exercise. Never ever attempt in music to play a unison on the snare drum or a unison on these other parts. We only play unisons on 2 different sounds. Flams you can play on the same surface, of course. Huh? Because sometimes we forget about it, like, pa, it sounds horrible. Big, far apart notes. Huh? Unisons, crescendo in unison, always like floor tom and snare, or tom and floor tom. Okay, we're missing just the bass drum, which of course is gonna be on beat 1 and beat 3. And so, yeah, let me remove this bat. What the fuck is it? Sorry, I completely forgot it was there. Alright, so on the pad I would go a little bit forward for the simulating the right cymbal. I'm in the center of the pad for the snare drum. I have a bass drum, and so therefore right hand, right foot will be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you've never done it, it's probably difficult. I don't know. I imagine it's difficult to control the volume and the motion correctly. So it's always full strokes with the right, and it's up, down with the left. So you really need to focus only on your left because your right hand is always bouncing back up. But it feels so good to perceive that unison with the two different dynamics. At least I enjoy that feeling. Let's go into eighth note subdivision. Now we start to do something that is a little bit more common. We want to look at this both with the right hand in eighth notes, with the left hand in eighth notes, and with the right hand in quarter notes and the left hand in eighth notes, so we create more contrast between the two elements. Also this little thing can disappear. I will go back here, okay. So now we're gonna do this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the process is the same. The left hand will play all tap strokes, but we'll try to accentuate on beat 2 and beat 4. There are more notes before the accent, right? So we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and go up on the end of 1, 3, and the end of 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4, and 1 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and to the foot 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 on beat 1 and beat 2. So very often those drummers in the 50s, especially 50s and 60s, were also accentuating the hi-hat when they're playing the snare. It was not like a conscious choice or like, oh, let's see what dynamics, but we kind of lost this way to play, right? So the hi-hat would be pretty much straight at the time, not super loud, but would have a little bit of a also in the 60s. Also, if you go to the right cymbal, sometimes they would even hit the bell of the right cymbal on beat 2 and beat 4. It changes the groove dramatically if you start to approach it this way. A different idea of the consistent loud and soft that we started to play later on. Okay? So then we had this kind of middle dynamic with the right that would accentuate a bit on 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the left hand which goes from here 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and from this side of things. Basically, but it's easy in a way. I mean, they were doing it spontaneously because there is energy here. They just have two different starting points. Imagine the height, which is this hand over here, is at this height, and then puts a bit more accent, which comes really from your sense of timing, from that energy. Whereas the left hand goes, and mostly they were not playing rim shots in those like early 50s and 60s, huh? But we like rim shots, so we also practice with rim shots, right? So you hear at those velocities how it starts to flow in a certain way. It's really, really nice on the drums, these kind of grooves. So sometimes, for example, I'm playing a song with that kind of approach. I don't have all these ghost notes. Maybe I'm just playing straight, right? Then I try to put a bit of an accent. And then at some point you can always try, if you want to push the music, bring a bit of nerves, to add these unisons. You need to be very controlled with your ghost notes. Of course, if they're too loud, it sucks. Then it's better not to put it. The same thing like if you're studying jazz coordinations and now you're learning to play the feather, the bass drum very soft. If you're then playing one day with a quartet in a restaurant and you start boom, 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 they're gonna ask you who taught you that in your life, because it's absolutely not an element that should project in the room. It's just a reinforcement of the bass frequencies. If you play in a big band, it's a different story, of course. Like 40 people playing, you can play louder the bass drum. So we need to always be attentive when we play more notes that these notes are not bothering also what the other musicians are doing and also ruining the groove that we were already playing. Use your ears and practice until you love it, and then practice 1 hour more. That's the rule. Already most people don't practice until they love it, but if you do it and then you do an extra hour, you're gonna nail it, you're gonna master it. Practice then until you hate it, and an extra hour more and you'll be a professional. If it makes sense what I just said. It does, I mean, I already understood it, you want to vomit it, you have enough, and then you do an extra hour. That's when the magic really happens. That's what very few people get to that point with anything. And not just in drumming, of course. Right? So now we try to put the hand in quarter notes instead. A bit of independence doesn't hurt, right? It's a good thing. So now we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, but 1 and 2 and 3 with the left. And now we put the accent. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Right hand in quarter notes, Marilyn, now. Left hand in A string. Bass drum. It's more difficult, no? I guess. Once you can do it, it's easy. Of course. Like the poet of the obvious today. If you notice what I'm doing here also, if I show you this zoomed version, it's a bit diagonal here, no? And also here you can start to work with accent with the right also on the hi-hat, from middle to loud. If you notice what I'm doing with my right hand, now I'm not monodynamic anymore. Little spontaneous accents, which is more natural as we speed up. Very good training for the left hand, playing so many notes. Often we complain like my left hand doesn't keep up with the right, but we spend most of our drumming time playing lots of, not only your right hand is of course already more trained, but with the left you're just very arrogant, going pa, 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 like there's no sophistication in that and there is no training. These exercises are really, really tough also when you bring them fast for endurance. Do this for half an hour, then tell me about it. And control. Then of course, no? the shit happens, no? You start to be more aware about this idea. Let's go now in a smaller grid. You can take the notes, it's okay, I'm gonna explain a little bit. We're gonna do 8 notes with the right, 16 notes with the left. And we also want to look at quarter note with the right, 16 note with the left. Now we have 2 levels of subdivision down. I love these approaches, first of all because they're very practical. You can use them even not just for a whole song, just in some of the bars to see how that changes the whole feel. For the training of it, and it's a different approach to ghost notes that we usually have also during lessons. No? That's the idea of playing in between the notes. Now we become aware about all the grids. And we become aware about these difficult ghost notes, which are the ones just before the accent. These 2 ghost notes here, considering this is the top one of the triangle is the accent. These ghost notes and these ghost notes are the most difficult of them all, right? Because I need to quickly go against gravity for one of them. And this one is a bit easier because I fall down with gravity, but still very hard to keep it very soft. So those 2 notes are usually a little bit sloppy. Both from the precision, because we need to rush to the number, so of course they also slow you down. Those are the ghost notes that don't allow you to play these rhythms at like super crazy velocities, and are the ghost notes that usually we remove when we play most of the ghosted variations of grooves. For one drum point, who knows what these ghost notes are actually called? These difficult ghost notes on the side of an accent.
Grace notes.
There you go. Bravo, Nat. Grace notes. Grace notes comes from the fact that a grace note is actually a phlegm on piano technique. When you go fast to the other note, we borrow that terminology because this almost feels like a phlegm with one hand. Right? It's very hard to play at higher velocities. Then in the modern times, most people started to call, especially in the States, they called ghost notes grace notes. So in most cases, when people are talking about grace notes, they don't refer to the position of these ghost notes, but historically that's why we have two names. I remember reading a lot of magazines, and sometimes I would find this name and be confused, like what the fuck are these grace notes? So it took me a long time to actually find the resources to read this. But it's important to know. Those are the ghost notes that if you can, and if you want to speed up a pattern, you remove. But you want to experience them first. Hello, darling. It's a cat PPR today. And these originally were the eyes of a cat, but when I removed the background, I removed the cat. But it's still spooky because of that. I like it. Ciao, Merlin. Have a good day. Right,
Bye.
so now we have eight notes. One.
Enjoy, everybody.
Ciao.
Yeah.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E. Hands in cuernos. Eighth notes. 16th. Eighth. Quarters. Eighth. 16th. Eighth. Yeah? Good stuff. So the difficult ones in this case would be the A of 2 and the E of 3, the A of 3 and the E of 4. These two notes are not difficult in other position of the beats, right? So the E of 1 is not difficult. I mean, it doesn't slow you down. It could be difficult, like for figuring out where it is. But if you have these many notes and this is where is, from your perspective, this is an accent. Wait, you're reading left to right. I don't even know anymore. Yeah, you're reading left to right. So this is an accent, right? So this note here, well, I don't know. I'm mirrored. Fuck. The screen is actually mirrored when I move this hand. Fuck. Yeah. No, I see it. I see it. But probably on Zoom I put mirrors bullshit option. Anyway, here's an accent. That one is difficult. So which would be if we just play that one. 1 E and a 2. Ready? Go. 1 E and a 2 E and 1 E and goes accent and 1 E and a 2. For those of you who know Müller, life gets easier because pam pam is much easier than because you save a lot of time with Müller. If you don't know Müller, ask at the next lesson whoever you see, because it's going to be a game changer as a motion, especially in this situation. The other difficult note is the E of 2. Maybe before I mispronounced, I said E of 3. It's the E of 2, right? 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and. And of course now we rehearse both of them. 1 E and 2 E and 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 1 E and soft, loud, soft and, right? So the tendency is these are difficult, so I remove them and I play the easy one. Instead today, because we're gonna get scared by ghost notes, we play only this for a moment. Right? So we have, let's play the right hand in 16 so it counts for us. 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and soft, loud, soft and 1 E and 2 E and 1 E and But the fact is, I mean, once you can play already the easy ghost notes, you don't really need to practice them, whereas these need practice. So practice the things you're not good at, don't practice the things you can already play. If you practice the things that you can already play, we call that playing, not practice, you know. It's just like semantics, you know. They have a big impact on how you use your time. Let's now play, because we know the E and the R are difficult, E and R on all of the beats. So the left hand plays E's and R's plus the accents, right? So we have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and right? 16 notes with the right to start with, and then we try with the eighth notes and with the quarter notes. Right? So we have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and E 2 E 3 E 4 E 1 E 2 E 3 E 4 E. Wow, it's already 1:50. I have so much material prepared for you guys. So once you have these, and maybe I'll share this image later with you. What we see here are some of the easy ghost notes, some of the difficult ghost notes, but they are the different positions where we can play ghost notes. Huh? We see in exercise number 1, if you put my image big, you'll see it better. I don't know if I'm small on your screen, but exercise number 1, they're all in 2/4 because the coordination is the same. You know, we go to 3 and 4. We play this very easy E of 1. Okay, you don't always need to play all of the ghost notes. You can play just some of them, right? So then we have, if we repeat exercise number 1, 1 E and 2 and 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 1 E and 2 and. Let's move to exercise number 4, which is the other easy ghost notes, which is the A of 2. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. The A of 4. Exercise 4. I said move to exercise 4 because that's the other easy ghost note. Exercise 1 and 4 are the easy one. 2 and 3 are the difficult ones that we just talked about when we were practicing together before. If we connect 1 and 4 together, you get the traditional ghost note pattern that we play in most of the 8-note bass grooves. 1 E and 2 and so you take beat 1 from exercise 1 and beat 2 from exercise 4, and you get a chica tim pa chica chica tim pa chica chica tim pa chica 1 E and 2 and E and 2 and that 1 E and together, right, left, right, 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 together, right, left, kick, snare, chukachi, cha, chica, 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 chica, cha, chica, chica, cha. Sorry. So now that we play exercise number 2, 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2.
Help me!
Let's get a little bit trickier. Let's go exercise number 3. Ready, go. 1 and 2 E and 1 and 2 E and 1 and 2 E and 1 and 2 E and. Let's do exercise 2 and 3, not combined like we did before. We actually read like if it was a bar of 4/4. So we put them in sequence in loop. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and. So we isolate those two different coordinations. Keep on going. Now let's actually borrow beat 2 from exercise 3, and we do what we did before, just playing the difficult ghost notes, but in this case we are in with the right hand in 8 notes. Maybe before we tried just the 16 notes, I don't remember. Ready, go. 1 and 2 E and 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 1 and soft, loud, soft. Soft, loud, soft. Soft, loud, soft. One thing that I do very often in my grooves that I copied from a lot of funk drummers is to play on beat 2 and beat 4 all of the 4 ghost notes of the 16th, which would sound like kind of a cascade. And okay, you can study to have the accent and 3 very soft ghost notes, but I like how it goes into the crescendo. It's not written, eh? 2 E and 4 E and ka 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 boom boom pa boom ka 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 boom boom pa boom. And then I mean bass drum variations complicate everything, right? But I like this, how it sounds really cool. Sometimes not every bar, but sometimes you can put it as a variation. You're playing boom pa boom boom pa boom boom pa boom boom ka 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 boom boom pa boom ka 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 ka. All on one. Yeah, this nice stuff. This approach you can just, fragment the 16/16 notes in different groups to become really aware. Now let's play 1, 2, 3, 4 in loop. Be aware when we get from 4 to 1, there will be this A of 4 that links to the E of 1 in the typical chica-chuca-chi fashion. Ready? Go. Chuca-chi, pa-chi, boom, chica-ca-chi, boom, chica-ca, boom, cha, chica-chuca-chi, pa-chi, boom, chica-ca-chi, boom, caca, boom, cha, chica-chuca-chi, pa-chi, boom, chica-ca-chi, boom, caca, boom, cha, chica-chuca-chi, pa-chi. Second bar. Well, second bar, bit 3 and bit 4, this is all 2/4. Do you have questions about the position of the notes? All good? Perfect? So you can speed it up by yourself on your own. I will also share with you, let me remove this, some of these ideas, but it's very similar to what we already practiced over here. And you can see there is a bass drum that starts to move around, and the first exercise, the bass drum is on beat 1 and beat 3. And we have all the E's, and I mean, it's a lot of notes written down, but it's all the E's and the A's plus the accents. It's that groove that we played. I will share the image later, so you can zoom in and see. Good stuff. By yourself, if you want to some other inspiration, then you start to work with the higher dynamical. So accent on downbeats or accent on upbeats. And you also want to remove the ghost notes, so you have only the quarter notes or only the ends to get that kind of independence. In bar number 2, the bass drum plays also on the end of 2. So we're adding one stroke on a right hand that doesn't have a ghost note, so it becomes tunka, tika, kaka, punga, tunka, tika, kaka, tunga, tunga, boom, 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 and 2 E and 3. Maybe I'm making more notes. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and yeah, there is no end of 4 like I was playing now. In exercise 3, we are adding the notes on the end of 4 actually, which I just played mistakenly now in loop, so it will become 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and... First of all, you can look at it without all the madness to understand the location of the notes. And on bar number 4, we have a bass drum that plays on the end of 3. So after the bass drum that already existed, so we'll have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E, and very common bass drums, right? If I play the 4 bars, then we have bar 1 has 1, 3, bar 2 has 1, end of 2, 3, bar 3 has 1, 3, end of 4, and then 1, 3, end. So without the ghost note would be... Begin. Crash.
2,000 years later.
And then lastly, I will also share with you this picture, which starts to work on exactly the similar concept, but in the world of triplets. So, what's the word? Ignored. But beautiful. So even before starting the exercises like this, I would go and play the complete grid of triplets, you know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and I play all of them. Try. It's not written. I'm playing all the ghost notes on the left. I don't know if Kenneth is very attentive or yeah, it was frozen. Step 2 is to play the shuffle. So even without the kick drum. But the left hand plays all the triplets. And then you do the same process. You study the difficult ghost notes, which will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and right. You isolate them. You play only one or the other. You find out what are the easy ones. And so basically, then depending on the velocity of the song, if you already acquired those positions, you can improvise, adding different flavors to these ideas. Any questions, my beloved? I hope you appreciate a slightly different approach on ghost notes, so we can start to play a few fun ghost notes. The last thing that I want to share with you is starting to think also in group of consecutive 2 ghost notes, which are very common and very beautiful. So if the E, for example, no, often what we've seen, we go to remove, where the fuck is the scene with all cameras? Usually we remove the ghost notes that are playing with the hi-hat because it's similar sounds. We looked at today how much they can actually be cool to introduce in our drumming, but we get tired to play all of them. So we can start to play combinations. Say for example, we know that the A of 1 is a dangerous ghost note, I avoid it, but we have the E, very easy, but also the end. The end goes in unison with the hi-hat, but it's a beautiful addition. So you have 1 E end. Then we know that the E of 2 is dangerous, so we avoid it, but we have the A, which is okay, and also the end of 2, which is in unison with the hi-hat. So therefore then I have 1 E end, 2 and this is a very common ghost note pattern. You play the E end of 1 and the end A of 2, repeat that on beat 4, and then study bass drum variations. 1 E and 2 and 1 E and. It's beautiful how they connect. But with the extra ghost note be playing, not just with the alternated hands. So it's a slightly more advanced, a bit more tasty way to also use these groups of 2. And 1 E and 2 and 1 E and 2 and 1 E and 2. Now, it doesn't mean you need to play the whole song this way, but you can add those notes and then you can remove them and play only some of them. Do this little cascade and dedicate a whole practice session to ghost notes, because it will make your drumming much more advanced, a bit spice it up with dynamics, and you will start to have much more fun drumming as well. Thank you so much for being part of this spooky PPR. I will see you very soon, my darlings.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful and scary day.
Thank you. Ciao. Thank you.
Thanks, ciao guys.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao.
Nauseous night, I'm sore through the pools of rancid gore, through the sewer pipes I abhor, to the horror hall, to the hall where vampires scream. Happy Halloween, from the cold and ancient graves, from the coffins and the